More attention has been paid to the issue of mental well-being since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic. But it seems that the elderly in Singapore prioritise physical health over mental well-being. That's according to survey findings from the SMU Centre for Research on Successful Ageing. The centre is studying data from a sample of Singapore households for more than 5 years. We're joined now by Prof Paulin Straughan. She's director at the Centre for Research on Successful Ageing. Professor, well, mental health is important for everyone, but for seniors, why is it important for them, and what contributes to mental health for this particular sector of society?
Well, thank you so much for having me tonight. So indeed, as we grow older, we go through significant life changes, particularly in terms of our social roles that we play in our families and in the community. So mental health serves as lenses through which we interpret our reality, and it affects how we manage the changes that are inevitable, how we relate to others, and it influences the decisions that we make. Mental health is particularly important as part of a holistic concept of health, especially as we think about older adults working for more years. Not only is their ability to work dependent on their physical health, but also on their mental well-being, because it affects their ability to process information, to think and reason. Such abilities not only enable them to keep working in their current jobs, but it also potentially, gives them the confidence to learn new skills for new tasks.
Well, even though it is that important, your research shows people paying more attention or prioritizing physical health over mental health. When you asked your respondents for their reasons why, what did they tell you?
I don't think it's necessarily a conscious prioritization. It's just that traditionally, right, when we think health, we think physical well-being, things that you can see, right? Whether you can walk, whether you're able to, deal with everyday tasks and so forth. However, as we now live longer, we realize that we have to also be in a better state of mind, right? To take care of ourselves beyond just being physically mobile. So we find an interesting correlation, right, between those who are more educated and their self-reported satisfaction with their mental health. And we suspect it's because those who are more educated, particularly those with university education, they tend to be more aware of the importance of mental health issues. They don't, just park it aside and move on when things don't seem right, in terms of their perception of optimism towards life, for example, and they're more aware of the mental health services that are available. So buzzwords like feeling very stressed out or worrying about signs of depression, these telltale signs they pick up and they're able to leverage early intervention. So this is what we hope to raise, right? Awareness that beyond your physical well-being, you must look after your mental well-being.
So in other words, it's being exposed to, as you say, buzzwords, exposed to maybe your friends and your relatives who may be using the same buzzwords. If that is the case, how can you make senior citizens who are less exposed to these buzzwords or these ideas more aware of the importance of mental well-being?
So possibly two dimensions, that we focus on. The first, of course, is to advance information, right? That's always very important, particularly when we are receiving more educated older cohorts, right? As Singapore progresses. So how do we then ensure that the information that we stream out gets, picked up, right? There's traction. So our research focuses a lot on the importance of the social environment we live in. So, for example, your family, your close friends, people in your community, particularly neighbors, they are very important sources of information. So the idea really is not just to rely on traditional communication pipelines, but to leverage social networks so that we know, where people tend to gather, who the significant others are in their network of friends and community context, and then drop information and teasers within these natural settings so that there is a certain organic thrust, right, to how information is streamed out and shared.
Oh, thanks for those insights, Professor Paulin Straughan. She's the Director for the Centre for Research on Successful Aging at Singapore Management University.